best of us. Nothing's gonna ever keep it down.
What up, what up? It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Here we go. It is Wednesday, the 11th day of June, 2025. A very good morning to you. A very good morning to you all. My name is Nick. Sitting kitty corner for me is Radio's Big J. Hey, Big J.
Hey, man.
How goes things so far this week, dude?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, all right. No complaints?
Nah,
Nothing end of the world happening in your life?
not so far.
You didn't have to run for cover with the wind and the storms yesterday?
Well, I mean, I did spend some time on the patio cleaning stuff up, like, just to make sure everything was battened down. I think things were okay, but, like, I was in the midst of falling asleep, and Mason walked in. Like, I think something blew away.
Blew away?
Yeah, like, we've got a bunch of plastic pools. You know those
like for the dogs?
For the dogs. But I had secured them behind a couple things to make sure that they wouldn't blow away. And at that point, I was like, nah.
They might be on a neighbor's roof at this point. You don't know?
It didn't sound serious. So I was like, I'm going to go back to sleep.
But you also didn't do like a inventory check this morning?
No.
Too dark?
No. Too dark. And that I like as less disruption as humanly possible when I leave the house.
Yeah, the dogs get all riled up.
Yeah, that's the last thing I want to do.
Wake everybody up, then you get upset. I get it. I understand. I do. Hopefully everything in your backyard was battened down last night. It was windy, for sure.
How about you? Did you get any...
No. I mean, like, I went outside probably around 9:15 or so, just before it started raining, and it was pretty windy out there. But I don't know. It didn't seem like we got too much rain, and everything appeared to be in pretty good condition.
I parked my baby in the garage, just in case don't want the wind.
You usually don't. I thought that's his home. That's his home. It goes in the garage.
Not in the summer.
Oh, it stays out.
No, yeah, I tried. Yeah.
Do you have like a cover for it in case things get weird?
No.
Okay.
I should probably get one of those. But here's the thing: is like because of the state of our garage, I can't turn the bike around. I like to have it so it's facing out. But my bike is a beast. It's very big. It's very heavy, so it's hard to do that.
So you can lay it right down?
No.
When does the Big J garage remodel project start?
That's a great question.
Okay.
I'm hoping to have a little more support. Like, I cannot do this on my own. Like, I cannot do it by myself.
It seemed like she was on the record like she doesn't want this done.
Yes,
I think you are going to have to do it yourself.
Here's the thing. It's going to be like a wake-up call one day when all of our stuff is in the driveway. And she'd be like, oh, no.
That sounds like something she would say.
And then it could be divorce after that. I don't know.
No.
The garage, like, listen, we never argue about anything, but we have argued quite a bit about the garage lately. So I'm like, yeah.
It might be a deal breaker.
It's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I haven't had this encountered yet. This is the toughest thing of our 13-year marriage so far is this garage battle.
We all know this much. Big J, when he wasn't thinking about the garage and the pools in the backyard, he watched a movie last night. It is called Presence. We will get a review of it from the man himself, directed by Steven Soderbergh. Also, we have a chance for you to go to Social D a couple times over on this show today. A chance for you to get qualified for the X's Rockstar remodel. That's on the agenda, so it should be a good Wednesday show. Let's have some Pearl Jam kick things off here on the morning after with Nick and Big J on the X Rocks.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The morning after with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by T Mazda and the Pre-Owned Superstore. And guess what? This guy over here, Big J, he's going to be broadcasting live from T Mazda's Trade-a-thon Marathon happening in the old Kmart in Nampa. The broadcast is happening this Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. You're going to want to pop by for some great deals. But if you don't know already, T Mazda is the title sponsor for a little thing called X-Fest 2025.
Whoa!
This will be your first chance to win X-Fest 2025 tickets. Big J will be giving them away every 15 minutes, so come by and win. Will you please, for the love of Pete?
I'll be there.
While you're there, trade your old car for a new car this weekend during the Trade-a-thon Marathon. You can buy with just your trade-in as the down payment. You don't need a single dollar for cash. They'll give you up to 30% of book value for your trade. 5 months, no payments. 5 months pre-approval. So take it over the old Kmart all weekend long there in Nampa. And Big J will be out there Saturday broadcasting live from 1 to 3. We start the show and important stuff, Big J, with not some great news, at least according to LendingTree. Now, LendingTree, of course, is a mortgage lender that is nationwide, and they recently did a survey and talked about the housing situation in the United States of America. And they broke it down to the 300 cities and did some particular breakdown research of, like, value to income ratios, vacancy rates, housing unit approvals, change in value to income ratios across the metros in the United States. And they found out, Big J, that Boise has the second worst housing market in the United States of America. Now, basically the entire Pacific Northwest is bad. Portland, Oregon is number 1. We're number 2. Salt Lake City is number 3. Spokane is number 4 in terms of worst places to buy a home. And it's all because of really the same reason, Big J. If you remember, around pandemic time, there was a huge boom in housing and all that kind of stuff. And what ended up happening was everybody was like, oh my God, everybody wants to move to the Pacific Northwest. Let's start building houses like crazy. And they did in all of these areas. And because there was, a shortage of homes for a bit in these particular areas. And what has happened over the last couple of years is, while the amount of homes and the price of homes have gone up, the one thing that hasn't moved in any of these places, particularly in Boise, where we're number 1 in the United States of America, is we have ourselves a problem with home value to income ratio. Basically, none of us make any more money than we did in 2018, and the housing is basically more unaffordable than ever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, none of us have an increase in income, but if you want to buy a house, it's still $500,000 at the very minimum, despite the fact that we have one of the highest vacancy rates in the United States of America. And LendingTree is like, all of this does not look good. Like, they're not selling them because people can't afford them, and nobody's living in these brand new houses. This is what we call a housing crisis, and it's a problem, and Boise's one of the worst places for it. So how does that get fixed? I mean, there's a lot of answers to that question, but not anything anybody's going to do, i.e. make people that work in the Boise make more money so that things become more affordable and they can afford a decent place to live. But nobody's going to do that, Big J. Not at least voluntarily anyway. And so that continues to be a problem, and it's the same kind of story throughout the other markets in the Pacific Northwest. So that doesn't look great. I mean, we've said before, it's kind of like a buyer's market. There's a ton of houses on there right now, but even though the house probably isn't worth that much, they're not going to dip below it because everything else is listed at that particular price, and you'd be silly to do it. And so your house, if you're selling it, will go on the market and stay there for 6 months, 8 months, a year, because nobody can afford to move into your place. And that becomes a problem. And hence why we have the number 2 worst housing market in the United States of America, Big J. I turn to you. How do we fix it?
I have no idea.
Damn it. All right. Well, we tried, everybody.
If you're waiting for a solution for this whole thing on my part, I'm sorry, everybody. Not gonna happen.
If you are interested in seeing the world's largest statue of Muhammad Ali, and Big J, quite frankly, who isn't? You're going to have to head to Lewiston, Maine. Have you ever been there? You've been to Maine.
No, I haven't. I may have, but I didn't know I was there.
The sculptor has created a 10-foot bronze statue, which is recently unveiled in downtown Lewiston near the site of the famous 1965 rematch between Ali and Sonny Liston. That's why it's there. If everybody's like, why is it in Maine? Well, there was one of the biggest boxing matches in the history of boxing in that particular location back in 1965, which begs the question once again, why Lewiston, Maine? I don't have an answer to that. Maybe the Boxing Commission was a little bit less hands-on. I'm not exactly sure why that was a thing, but it certainly is happening, and now it's available for you to check out in downtown Lewiston, Maine, if you'd like to. Big J, over the last several years, heck, decade or so, people cannot stop losing audience on award shows. The Academy Awards down year after year, Grammys down significantly year after year. The Emmy Awards are down. The Golden Globes went away. The ratings were so bad for a while. But the Tony Awards are through the roof, bro. They saw a significant increase in viewership. It's up 38% from 2024. The telecast also drew the largest streaming audience ever for Paramount Plus, with viewership up 208% year after year. This marks a strong performance for the ceremony, and so they are really, really happy with the amount of people that are tuning in for the Tony Awards. What do you think the secret is, Big J?
I have no idea. I don't watch the Tonys.
You don't watch any of the awards.
That's true.
But I'm wondering why people think, was it the Hamilton reunion? I'm sure that was a big thing. Hamilton's very popular,
yeah.
But it can't be the only reason people tuned in. So the Tony Awards is doing something that other people aren't, and it's making people tune in. And so that's pretty impressive. So listen, if you have an award show that's going up in audience, you're doing something right. Congratulations to the Tony Awards. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. It is the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
That is Tool. That is Sober here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. I don't think I'm going out on much of a limb when I say, Big J, neither you nor myself are really big drinkers. We're not out there drinking a whole bunch
anymore,
partying it up. Like if we're out together, we'll maybe have a beverage, 2 if we're pushing it, and then that's it for us, and we call it kind of a night. But it's few and far between. Like, I mean, I'm starting to think, I think the last time I had a beverage was last Wednesday night at when I went out to a podcast recording. That's the last time that I drank. It's probably been longer for you.
I think the last drink that I had was at the Continental.
No, that's not true. Didn't you have one at the birthday party?
Oh, I guess I did. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's how rare it is. It takes me a while to figure it out. So it's been a few weeks.
But even when I do drink, I have gone on the record, I am much more of a beer aficionado than I am anything else. You enjoy the stiff mixed drinks, but I don't know if you've seen this, but alcohol is kind of going through a moment that they are incorporating savory things into them and releasing them into the marketplace so that people can get more creative with some of the drinks that they're making. And while we like savory things, I don't know. But I mean,
bacon vodka's been around a while.
Bacon vodka's been around for a while. And then when you get a Bloody Mary back in the day, I can't have Bloody Marys, but when you have Bloody Marys, is like the more crap they pile on there, like savory style, the better it is. I don't know.
Well, it's more fun.
Okay. It's about you have a good time.
I don't know if how that, I mean, that's not really affecting the drink itself, I don't think. It's still Bloody Mary mix and vodka.
Right. You don't dip it in there or anything like that to like,
no,
okay. I don't know.
It just comes with like accoutrement. You get like sometimes hot wings and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like Slick's Bar has a great Bloody Mary bar on Sundays. At least they used to. We used to go there all the time for that.
But yeah, so I mean, there's lots of mixtures of savory and drinks that go in. There's plenty of alcohol that pairs well with whatever meal you happen to be having. But Isco Spirits is kind of doubling down on things. They are releasing a pizza vodka, Big J, and it's made with natural ingredients like tomatoes, mozzarella, herbs, and all of it kind of mixed together to make the vodka taste like pizza so that you can have pizza-inspired cocktails and enjoy them with a vodka kind of mix. Any interest in the savory side of vodka?
No.
Because you love pizza, right?
I love eating pizza. I don't love drinking pizza.
You don't want to blend that up and drink it and get hammered while you're doing it? Okay. Well, listen.
I'm not a psycho.
Maybe you're in the minority. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine anybody's ever said, I really enjoy this vodka tonic. I just wish that it tasted like pizza or anything like that. But this is probably like when you go into the hoity-toity places, like when you sit down at the Continental bar and you're like, I'm going to pay $90 for 3 drinks. What do I want? Oh, wow, this is a pizza.
I just really wanted old-fashioned. Thanks. Make it an expensive one.
A pizza margarita that is something that's different or whatever the case may be. But if you're into it, you would have to go to online to grab it. It's available on Food Beast. But you can grab it for $20 for a 375 milliliter bottle if you've ever always wanted to try pizza vodka or try to make pizza-inspired drinks. It seems gross to me, but lots of things out there seem gross to me that are doing just fine.
Yeah.
I
like White Claw.
And ranch dressing. So there's plenty of things out there that aren't for everybody. Taste is subjective. If you want to get into it, knock yourself out. Pizza vodka is a thing. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your vodka update. We got a movie review from Big J happening next on the X Rocks. Sure, that's Hardy. That is Jim Bob here on the morning after with Nick and Big J. Yesterday, gosh, if you check your watches right around this time, you guys selected a movie for Big J to watch and review for you, courtesy of Streaming Dumbass. That movie stars Lucy Liu, and it is called Presence, Big J, directed by one of the most iconic directors of the modern age. Now we check in with Big J and find out how it was. Big J, please.
Yeah, Presence, Nick, starring Lucy Liu, as you said. Chris Sullivan is in this as well. Not really familiar with him. Haven't seen him in much of anything, really. And a couple other folks. As a family that move into this house, Nick, and the house is also a character because the unique thing about this movie, and it's one of those reviews, I can't get too much into the story because it'll really ruin some of the stuff that goes down here. But this movie is shot entirely in the perspective of the house. Whereas it's almost all point of view from inside the home, and it like if you
like the house cameras, or if like the wall had eyes.
Let's say if the wall
thing.
had eyes, or if like a ghost was watching you, kind of thing. That's how this is shot the entire time, and it's you're almost exclusively inside the house the entire time of this movie. That's happening. And so that's an interesting thing that you don't see. And of course, there's always going to be something interesting with Soderbergh directing. And so you have that. And this family that moves in, they have an interesting dynamic. Two kids who are in high school. One of them is very driven by their mother, Lucy Liu. She has got some shady stuff going on in her business life. There is some issues in the marriage. I mean, you see all this unfold in the movie, and obviously one of the siblings is, I think favored by the mother and that sort of thing. So you get a lot of that interplay in family and what's going on in their lives. They moved into a new home, and in this home and away from where they lived before. The young lady, her name is Chloe. A very good friend of hers has passed away from drug overdose, Nick, and it's kind of haunting her. And that plays a role in what goes down in this house that they think. So there's a twist in this movie that I just never saw coming, and I don't know if you could see it really coming, and it was wow and creepy, and I got the chills. So it's a very interesting take on a psychological thriller from inside the home, but without like just, there's no violence or anything like that. It's just all psychological, and it's very interesting. And of course, I mean, it's done with a deft hand from Soderbergh. So, I'm going to give it an approval. I don't want to go into too much of it because it would really ruin the aesthetic, I think, of you're watching. And it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like where this thing came from because we're pretty well versed in film. It's been out for a couple years. I'd never even heard of this.
Yeah, no, I mean it landed in it did get a release, but it only made like $6-7 million.
Okay, I had never heard of it.
It went to Sundance Film Festival, all of that stuff. But it is an interesting dynamic, that's for sure. I'd love to hear your take on it too, because it is pretty interesting. I think at least from the filming perspective, and just that whole point of view thing is kind of wild, and it makes for a different story.
But I think to its credit, and listen, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't speak to it. But even if it is something you haven't seen before, that can wear thin if the movie isn't interesting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it still has to give you something to hold on to, and it sounds like Presence did that for you.
It took a minute. Yeah, it's a short movie. I mean, it's under 90 minutes.
Oh, it's a Big J special.
It's an hour and 27 minutes. Yeah, so it rolls by. But for that setup of the first 40 minutes, I think it takes a minute to get to like, oh, something's going on here. But it is a lot of swinging around and moving around. If you don't like that kind of thing, you might not. If you get sick. I'm not saying like it's anime moving around real fast, but it's just an interesting perspective to see from a shooting perspective for a movie.
All right. Well, that's a big thumbs up and an approval from Big J for a movie called Presence. You can find it on Hulu. That's where it's available if you want to give it a shot and see if you agree with Big J's take on things. But there's a movie that we can put in the positive column. So Presence is an approval for Big J. You can check it out. It's available now for you to stream yourself. Morning After with Nick and Big J coming up in a few minutes. We got ourselves some important stuff. We have to go to hell. That's going to happen as we head to rural Kentucky, Big J, for today's story. So you know it's going to be a doozy. All that and more on the way here on the X Rocks.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by Team Mazda, the pre-owned superstore. Getting finance at Team Mazda easier now thanks to the website GoTeamCredit.com. Everyone gets pre-approved. No effect on your credit whatsoever, so try it. I'll take a second here. You can log on to GoTeamCredit.com, and you guys can let me know when you're there.
What? They're there.
Okay.
So everybody send a text.
Big J, according to the latest U.S. Postal Service data, dog attacks on U.S. Postal Service workers reached a 7-year high last year.
Damn.
6,088 attacks recorded. That's a 5% increase over the previous year and 15% from 2022. Midwest states led the nation in attack rates, about 75% higher than anywhere else. Of course, accounting for 15 of the 60 cities with 10 or more attacks, that happened in places like Ohio as well as Illinois. The Postal Service's annual Dog Bite Awareness Campaign tracks incidents including chases, bites, assaults, and fatalities. Oh, my God.
Fatalities?
The cost of a dog bite claims averaged nearly $70,000 last year. The USPS has issued guidelines to help carriers reduce risk, urging responsible pet ownership. But why are these dogs attacking all of the postal workers, Big J? Are we just doing a worse job of keeping an eye on our pets?
Yeah, they attack anybody who comes up to your house. I mean, I wonder, that includes like Amazon, FedEx.
No, it's just U.S. Postal Service.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's just their data.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's going to be the same for any. The only reason we have that is because male folks from going way back were the only people who were coming to your house on a daily basis. That wasn't you, right?
Well, not the milkman, of course.
Okay. All right. But that's probably a weekly and not a daily thing.
Could be.
Regardless, now Amazon, all these other delivery drivers are part of that group too, where I'm sure they get attacked as well.
I'm sure you're right. They haven't released statistics, but I'm just wondering, is it like because we do a worse job, or they're because things are coming to our house more often, or dogs get out more often, or whatever the case may be? It just seems like
of all those.
It's happening a lot. Now, let me ask you, if your dogs were loose, would they attack the Postal Service carrier that came to your house?
Attack? No, they would probably try love bombing. It'd be like, oh, I'm so excited. Hi, how are you doing? But it's like a very excited barky, like when they come in the house. Anybody comes in the house for the first time, it's like embarrassing, first of all. But also it's just they're barking and jump. And of course, Lincoln's like a little corgi, so he can't jump very high. And so it's mildly annoying. Lady Bird, on the other hand, she can jump.
She'll get up at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so we're bad at, like, we haven't trained them really. So
they're barkers, but they're all bark, no bite, basically.
Yeah. I can't imagine them unless they were out on a walk and they felt like something was aggressive. I don't think they would, like, bite somebody.
Got it. So. Well, in other words, keep an eye on your pets just to make sure they're not adding to the statistics, please and thank you. A couple months ago, ESPN announced 89-year-old Lee Corso was going to co-host one final episode of College Game Day before he retired. But now we know ESPN's College Game Day is kicking off in Columbus, Ohio, for a showdown between Ohio State and Texas. That means Corso's final show will be at the very first place he made his signature headgear peck, where he put on the Brutus Buckeye mascot head back in 1996. So it all comes full circle, Big J. And you can tune in for one final Lee Corso broadcast if you'd like to, as the football season kicks off for College Game Day. So get ready. It's all happening in Columbus, Ohio. And Lee Corso will probably put on Brutus's head one more time, just for old time's sake, Big J.
One more time.
Former guest of the morning after and comic book stud James Gunn made a pretty big reveal in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. He had been talking for a while about how he's kind of wrapping things up on Superman, also putting the finishing touches on season 2 of Peacemaker, but he's also about, waist deep in writing a brand new movie for the DC Universe. And everybody's like, oh, what's next? Oh, what next? It turns out in the interview with Entertainment Weekly, that movie is Wonder Woman, Big J.
Wonder Woman!
The upcoming film will mark a fresh start for the character. That means no more Gal Gadot. She will no longer be Wonder Woman. Apparently, there's also a HBO series in the works that focuses on Wonder Woman's home of Themyscira. Gunn mentioned that this project is progressing slowly but steadily. Of course, the Wonder Woman movie is part of the DC Universe's lineup of projects. That includes Superman. We've got Supergirl, World of Tomorrow. We know there's a Clayface and a dynamic duo movie. And so we've got the Superman movie, which is the first of the James Gunn kind of series, coming out on July the 11th. So we will see how it all goes.
Have you seen the names of possibilities for the new Wonder Woman?
I have not.
Being thrown out there are a couple that I'm like, okay, I can see that. Anna de Armas.
Sure.
Alexandria Daddario.
Okay. Well, this is surprising. Most of those names, I would guess that they would
Hot.
go younger, because David Cornsweat's in his mid-20s. And, both Anna de Armas is very capable, Alexandria capable as well. All of them are in their 30s, though, and so it's surprising to me.
Daddario in her 30s?
I think so. I think she just turned 30. And now you're talking about 32 before a movie gets made, if we're being honest. Yeah. And so there's that.
And by that, a female in Hollywood, their career's over.
They're playing grandmothers at that point. So
I'm an old lady.
I'm just thinking about when you're franchising and you're kicking things off, you're talking about 5-6 movies kind of a thing. Like Gal Gadot, she was 26 when she got the role. And so it's a whole different kind of thing. So we'll see how it all...
39? Crazy.
Is that true? Well, there you go. See? I think they're just naming attractive ladies that get your needle moving, Big J. But I'm not sure.
I didn't make it up.
Any kind of truth.
Witness this.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got ourselves a We're Going to Hell story. It's next on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic inside the TDS Fiber Traffic Center. To light, stories that are incredibly up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Won't you join me in my own private hell?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
We got some real small town southern bleep going on for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J.
Oh, man. Corruption?
Not quite, no. We are headed to Murray.
That's my first thought when I hear them.
You're watching a lot of Reacher, that's why.
Yes,
we are headed to Murray, Kentucky for today's We're Going to Hell story. And the first thing you need to know about today's story is that methamphetamine's a hell of a drug, Big J.
Not even once.
Not even once, guys. Don't do it. And it makes you do really bad things. Now, the other thing that you should probably know about small towns is everybody is all up in everybody else's business, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this story revolves around Jonathan Mason. Jonathan Mason is 40 years old, and he has got a reputation in and around Murray, Kentucky, of being a little bit of a meth head, okay?
Just a little.
Not a great reputation to have in a small town. Everybody probably knows. So he has got a little bit of a stigma attached to him. And, here's what I know. The story also revolves around a place that I'm going to call Jim's Corner Store, because the other gentleman in this particular story is Jim Parsons, and all we know is he owns a very small corner store in Murray, Kentucky.
From the Parsons Project?
I don't think so. The Jim Parsons Project? I don't think so. Unrelated. But he owns a corner store there in Murray, Kentucky. And he has had a problem over the last couple of months of Jonathan Mason just kind of coming into his corner store, meandering around, not buying anything, hanging around. And so at some point, he decided to ban Jonathan from coming back into his business. Get out of here. You don't ever buy anything. Go on, get.
Go on, get.
And so on June 6th, around 9 o'clock in the evening, Jonathan came back around and was trying to just find something and looking around the store. And that's when Jim came in and said, I thought I told you to stay out of the store. Go on, get. And Jonathan said to Jim, quote, "You'll be sorry." And then left.
You'll be sorry.
Jonathan Mason then returned to Jim's corner store around 9:18 p.m. that night and brought with him, and just didn't even come inside the store, Big J. Just opened up the door for like 10 seconds and then ran away. And Jim was like, what the hell was that about? And that's when he realized that Jonathan had let into the store 2 raccoons that Jonathan apparently over the last couple of days had been feeding meth to. And so these meth raccoons
don't tell Ian this,
are now running around Jim's corner store going ham, right? I mean, like, they're tearing into stuff. Jim's trying to get him out, shoo him away, and then he gets bit by one of the raccoons, and then he's like, oh, God, I probably have rabies or God knows what else.
Meth rabies.
I'm going to start calling the police. Police show up. They bring animal control with them. They get the raccoons under control, Jim tells the police, hey, I know exactly who did this. It's that son of a bitch, John Mason, who I kicked out of my store last month. He came back
Meth
and
head John
let these meth raccoons into my now meth store. What the hell am I going to do? So police then track down Jonathan. They pull him over. He refuses to cooperate with officers. He doesn't roll down his windows. He doesn't exit his vehicle. So then they remove him from his vehicle, Big J, and he is arrested. Authorities charge him with several offenses: assault in the second degree, criminal trespassing in the third degree, resisting arrest, also possession of drug paraphernalia, failure to own or to maintain required insurance on the vehicle. And then they're trying to figure out what they do with these because he doesn't own the raccoons. He just like trapped them, fed them meth,
trained them,
and then let them loose in somebody's place of business. And so he was taken to Callaway County Jail, and I'm sure that's just the beginning of this feud that's going to be like the Hatfield and McCoys for years to come.
Only one guy's weaponizing raccoons.
That's true.
Like, is he a future villain? Like, super villain?
I think he's the Beastmaster, Big J. You know this as well as I do.
Was he wearing a loincloth?
It doesn't say what he was wearing, but, they got his mugshot, and he definitely looks like a guy that's, has some issues. Let's put it that way. And hopefully he gets the help that he needs, cleans up, and then maybe he stops feeding wild animals meth, which we recommend to everybody not to do. Don't even let the animals try it once. How about that?
Yeah. Cocaine bear, cocaine shark, meth raccoon.
Meth raccoons. Yes.
Love it.
So watch out, everybody.
Put that in the bingo card.
Nope. We're going to cross all of those squares off this year, I promise. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X Rocks.
Here.
That is Breaking Benjamin. That is Awaken here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. We are big advocates for you checking in on your mental health from time to time, making sure you have crossed all your T's and dotted all your I's, and you are in the best mental health position that you can possibly be in. But listen, man, depression is real. Everybody's going through some stuff that takes an emotional toll, and some of those could be the job that you have, Big J. Agree or disagree?
Sure.
And so they put together a really, really elaborate study on mental health in the workplace. And what they found out, probably not surprising, Big J, but some professions are just more depressing than others. You get in a situation and you try to do the best that you can, and sometimes you're just caught in the kind of inertia of being in a bad mental health situation. And so researchers looked at data at over 500,000 American workers and found more than 80,000 people have been diagnosed with depression at some point in their lives. And women twice as likely to be diagnosed as men. I believe that's probably because dudes just don't go to therapy as much as women do. And so that's probably part of the problem. Plenty of dudes out there are depressed. It's just undiagnosed because we are taught that trying to treat your mental health and going through some issues is a sign of weakness when it's the exact opposite, which we've tried to talk about forever. But, it's okay to go to therapy and talk about your problems. It will help things get a little bit better. But they dove into the jobs and they found out which are the most depressing jobs in the United States of America. Number one with the bullet, Big J, community and social service roles. These are people that help the people that have the less advantages that other people do. They're often working or caught up in the system, and they find it depressing because their lack of resources, their lack of pay, the problems that they see, the issues that they are facing. I can understand how when you are helping the people that have the least, that can be a depressing job. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
Right behind them, food prep and service workers. That's jobs that you and I have had. That was pretty low, right? It's not exactly the best.
Yeah.
They get treated like crap. We've talked about this before. We don't do a really good job taking care of our food service workers or those in retail in general, from a salary perspective to a treatment as customers, and we feel entitled around them, whatever that case may be. So you can understand why that would be depressing. Number 3 on the list, Big J. We did it. Arts, entertainment, and media industries. That's us, my friend. We come in at number 3 on the list. And listen, I've had some depression in my life. You've had some depression in your life. So I'm not sure how much of it is work related, but we've also been pretty candid about there were some years here when there was some leadership that was very difficult to work with, and it was a pretty awful place to work for a while. Agree or disagree, Big J?
It was almost hostile.
That's right. And thank God.
It was behind a wall, a curtain of hostility. That's for sure.
We were able to outwit and outlast, but I mean, it was touch and go there for a while, Big J. And it was definitely some of my darkest times working here, for sure. And so you can definitely be caught up in if you're working around the wrong people or in the wrong situation. I mean, I know you haven't had a chance, but I have worked at other radio stations that the job experience and the experiences there have not been as fun or as good as it has been here. And so there's definitely some issues going on there. Number 4 is healthcare support. That makes sense. And then number 5 is education professionals here in the United States. There's lots of factors that contribute to a worker's mental health problem, ranging from emotional burnout to long hours to really low pay. But we sympathize with you if you find yourself in any of these positions. Prioritize your mental health. And if you find that your job is playing a significant impact in your mental health, sometimes it's time to readdress things and look and say, is this the right place for me? Am I as happy as I possibly can be? Or whatever the case may be, but it's okay to seek out some advice and some help if you're going through some dark times, especially if work plays a role. Agree or disagree?
Totally, yes.
But those are the places that you're probably not getting a lot of, like, you're already in trouble if you head into work and those are one of your jobs. Do the best you can and make sure you're as healthy as you can be, especially when it comes to your mental health. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, your important stuff and your pop culture smackdown. Hold on, it's the X.
Important stuff. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by Be Our Guest, dude. Hey, it's coming up Friday. xrock.com, 9 o'clock. We want to invite you to check out Lemon Tree Company and The Grove by Lemon Tree Company because, listen, it's summertime, it's hot. Few things go better together than some delicious food and an ice cold lemonade. You know what I'm saying, Big J?
Oh, yeah.
Cool you down inside and out. Just pour that lemonade right over your head, cool you down, and make sure you're ready to go. It's exactly what you'll find at Lemon Tree Company, but there's more to the story. That's because their Park Center location has been rebranded as The Grove by Lemon Tree Company, but still committed to using the freshest ingredients. They deliver bold flavors, creative menus, and they've got vegan options and gluten-free options for you as well. Takeout delivery, hit whatever location you want, be it downtown or at Park Center, and enjoy. And if you haven't checked it out yet, Be Our Guest. We'll offer you up $50 in gift certificates to Lemon Tree Company for just $25 while supplies last. Starts 9 o'clock, xrock.com. Be Our Guest. Click it and grab them while you can. These sold out very quickly last time. They probably will again. Big J, wouldn't you know it, turns out TikTok isn't exactly the place that you should go if you're looking for any kind of health advice, particularly skincare. If you look on TikTok, it doesn't take you very long to scroll. You're going to find 2 or 3 tutorials or things that you can go through about some skincare routines. And it turns out, Big J, it's sending a lot of people to the hospital, specifically kids. You know, teenagers jump on TikTok and they go, oh, their skin looks great. Let me try their particular routine. Next thing you know, there's allergic reactions, there's skin irritation, there's all sorts of stuff. Researchers analyzed about 1,000 videos from 820 different creators where the girls' regimens featured an average of 6 products that cost about $168, so it's also not cheap. The top viewed videos contained an average of 11 potentially irritating active ingredients, with some having as many as 21. So it's important to know, particularly with anything that involves skincare or those kind of things, there's a lot of stuff that could go sideways with it. And researchers, medical professionals are saying probably not the best thing to just look at a video and copy that, because odds are it probably won't go well for you. About 26% of the videos that they tested had some sort of beneficial advice, but that means, Big J, just by doing math, 74% of them were not good for you. So something to keep in mind as well. Just because they're on TikTok does not make them an expert. I don't know if we can stress that enough. But I believe that there's some sort of credibility that we attach to these accounts that have followers, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything, really, in the world of...
It means they've duped a whole bunch of people.
Right. Of actually understanding how things work, that means nothing. The amount of followers that you have really does not dictate how much you should be listened to. I cannot stress that. Michael Jordan hasn't played an NBA game for over 2 decades, Big J, but he's still the king of basketball cards. A 1986-87 Fleer Jordan autograph rookie card will be auctioned off starting June 17th. We're going to start the bid at $2 million. Big J, are you in or are you out?
I'm out.
The card has piqued the interest of the card collecting world since it has a 9 card grade that's mint and a 10 autograph grade, also mint from the Professional Sports Authenticator. That's the highest grades ever given for a Michael Jordan autographed rookie card. Also one of 9 Fleer rookie cards that Jordan signed for a private collector last year. So it's a fairly recent autograph, but that doesn't matter. It's still an autograph, and we're talking $2 million for this thing, and that's where it's going to start. It'll probably go way north of that as well, because as we know, collectibles right now are where it's at. So God knows what this thing's going to go for, but congratulations. I wonder how much it costs to get Michael Jordan to sign something this year. Are we talking like $500?
I have
$1,000?
no idea.
I mean, he doesn't do it, or he does it rarely, so it'd have to cost a fortune. But he'll get his money back and then more, with it starting at $2 million. The creators of The Last of Us saw their audience kind of go down in Season 2, but that doesn't mean they don't have a green light for Season 3. They do, and they're talking about some details revolving around the 3rd season. Here's what we do know. It's going to focus on the character of Abby this time around, as it does in the game a lot in The Last of Us Part 2. They also expressed some gratitude for the creative freedom that HBO has granted them in adapting the video game story, and they've kind of done it in an unconventional way, but they've followed, for the most part, the storyline of the video games in the season. But they obviously, Season 2 is over before the game Part 2 is over, so there's lots more story to tell. They're kind of taking the long way with these kind of things, so we'll see if the audience continues to go down, but it is a situation where the Season 2 probably didn't go as well as the television, the showmakers wanted it to go, especially considering the crazy amount of buzz Season 1 had. But that's what happens when you change things drastically. You know, Season 1 of the show truly was almost a shot-for-shot remake of The Last of Us Part 1, which everybody knows is good. And then Season 2, they kind of switch things up a little bit and drag things out a little bit, and that's very much different than the game, and so people probably start to lose patience.
Also lost somebody in there.
Yeah, but again, if you
How
know
do you
the
think
game...
that affected?
Uh-huh.
How do you, well, yeah, but oftentimes with adaptations, not everybody who's watching played the game.
This is true. And yes, when that happens, a beloved character going on, it surprises a lot of people. Not the people that played the game, of course,
right,
but surprised a lot of people that they would make that move. But also know, unlike the video game, they have said several different times, even in Season 2, that character is popping back up in a lot of different things. So they're not going anywhere. They're just not in the show as much as they were. But they're still a part of it, even in Season 3, which is not how the game works. But It's an interesting spin-off of things. And also, I think they know we need people to continue to tune in because this person's important and a little bit of somebody that people care about, so they might continue to tune into this show. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. How about we do some Pop Culture Smackdown? That'll happen next on the X.
Here's
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yep, and pretty sweet prize here. Social Distortion coming to the Revolution Concert House and Event Center Saturday, June 21st. Plague Vendor opening up. We'll get you tickets to this show. If you can beat Nick and Pop Culture Smackdown, plus you're going to be qualified for a really cool sound check party with Social D before the show. All this, again, yours if you beat Nick and Pop Culture Smackdown.
All right, I think it's going to be pretty easy today. If you got what it takes, get on the phone, 208-287-1003. That's the number that you need to call if you'd like to play this game and possibly win this pretty awesome Social D prize package. But you're going to have to, of course, know at least one pop culture trivia question, right?
Nick.
And odds are you might have multiple choices, so we wish everybody the best of luck. Hello, the X.
How's it going?
Good, man. What's up? What's your name?
Jay.
All right, you're up first, man.
The Green Bay Packers legendary coach Vince Lombardi's name adorns what famous trophy?
The Lombardi Trophy.
There you go.
Was that really your question?
I was really looking for the Super Bowl trophy, but yeah, it really was my question.
All right. I mean, the answer being in the question is weird, but okay.
Well, I didn't say, yeah, I guess you're right. But I did have options, but he got there before I did. Nick, what was Lombardi's final coaching gig before his untimely passing?
You mean what team was he coaching?
Yes.
He was the coach for Washington.
That's correct.
right.
Jay, 2 actors have won an Oscar for portraying the Joker in DC movies. Just name one of them.
Jack Nicholson.
That is
Wrong.
not correct.
I'm sorry. I don't even think he was nominated for that role, unfortunately. But that happens to the best of us. Hello, the X.
Hello.
Hey, here comes Big J with your question.
2 actors have won an Oscar for portraying the Joker in DC movies. Name just one of them.
Heath Ledger.
There you go. That works. Nick, what does DC stand for?
Oh, gosh, I don't think I know that. It's not District of Columbia, that's for sure. How about something comics? I'll say District Comics.
District Comics is not correct. I'm surprised. I thought you would get this for sure.
No.
What if I said, let's think, what is really the Batman when you get down to it? What is he?
Detective Comics?
Detective Comics.
Okay.
There you go.
That makes sense.
You didn't reason it out like I thought would happen.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, growing up, always was a Marvel guy. Didn't read a lot of DC, so that stuff doesn't register much with me. But it's a good question, man. Hey, congratulations, sir. You got tickets to go check out Social Distortion coming up next Saturday. You're also qualified to join them at the Soundcheck Party. Hang on one second. We will get some information from you. Morning After with Nick and Big J. It is the X Rocks. That's Metallica, The Unforgiven, here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Always fun when we get to check in with our friend from Zoo Boise, Jeff Augusta, who joins us once again in the studio to talk about a really cool thing happening this week at Zoo Boise. As a matter of fact, it's going down on Friday night. It is time to roar and pour. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. There's the roar part. There you go. We did it. Roars and Pours is happening this Friday from 6 to 9. It's a really cool after-hours, adult-only kind of experience, and it's an opportunity to kind of let loose and do a little Zoo Boise After Dark kind of fun, right?
Yeah, exactly like you said. This is as much as we love kids and family, and that's the bread and butter and the most important part of the zoo a lot of times. This is after hours when we close down. Adults 21 over can come, experience the zoo with their friends or on a date or whoever they want to come with by themselves. Grab a beer, grab a glass of wine, walk around. We have a bunch of stuff happening. Our giraffe encounter, which is $5, you'll be able to feed a giraffe. You'll be able to ride the carousel, ride the giraffe slide. We're going to do our wild dog zip line, which means we're going to zip line a big rack of ribs or some meat down for our wild dogs to get. Nice. And, we'll have zookeeper chats, all sorts of stuff. And again, it's a chance for adults to come and experience the zoo because everybody loves the zoo.
Yeah, and we've talked before about how, like, when you open up the zoo after hours, because normally closing around 5 o'clock, you get to see different kind of animal behaviors. Some of the animals in the zoo are nocturnal, so getting to see a little bit of a different side of the zoo is really cool as well that you may not see during the day.
That's a great point. Yeah, definitely the different animal behaviors are different in the evening. So you get to experience some of those animals you might not always see, or they're kind of just hanging out. Now they're kind of moving around, and because they're nocturnal or crepuscular, which I think I said that right.
Wow. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I'm not the animal expert, so if I butchered that, but that's an animal that is more active during the morning and kind of the twilight type
So you said
hours.
The giraffe encounter, it's $5 you get to feed the giraffe?
And we have a... Go ahead. Yeah,
no,
sorry.
Go ahead, continue.
Cut you off on your own show. We have a brand new...
I was going to ask, how much is it for you to give them a beer? Like,
no.
I'm not sure. I'll have to find that out.
I bet you shouldn't give giraffes a beer. That would be my guess.
Okay,
that's probably the right answer.
Right.
That is the right answer.
They can't drink
100%.
is what I'm hearing.
Not beer.
All right.
But it is really nice to see all the other kind of stuff. And then I know that we're past the deadline, but there's a VIP section as well. If you really want to do it up and make it a really special night, you can go into a VIP section, but you have to get those tickets early. But there's still some available if you want to go and just have some fun. If you grab them now, they're $30. If you go and wait until the day of, it's $35. So save yourself some dollars and jump online at zooboise.org and grab them today or tomorrow to make sure that you can take advantage of the fun on Friday. But this has been an ongoing thing, which means it must be fun there must be a lot of people that want to jump out and check out the zoo after dark.
Yeah, this is, I think, our second year doing this. We've done similar events, but this specific event is our second year, and it was very popular. We already have a lot of repeat people because they've had so much fun, so we're expecting a good turnout. And people are just, even that we have beer at the zoo, nobody's going too wild. It's a nice, chill, fun time. We're going to have live music as well. I didn't mention that. So we're just excited to open it up for everybody to come. So yeah, if you go to zooboise.org, you can find it right on our homepage. Tickets to $30, like you said, now, or $35 at the door. But our VIP is sold out.
Yeah, okay.
So
that's why you got to get them early. So next time Roars and Pours comes along, grab them on zooboise.org while you can, because they feed you at the VIP section. It's pretty nice. Ooh. But also, we talked last time you came in about the brand new Red Panda exhibit. Is this something that is open during the Roars and Pours section? Can people check out that part of the zoo as well?
The Red Panda passage that we just opened a couple weeks ago is going to be open. So hopefully the Pandas, we have 4 of them, will be up and around moving. So that'd be a great area. And that's right where a lot of stuff's happening as well.
Yeah. So
how
check
they
it out.
acclimating? They doing okay?
Oh, yeah, they're doing great. I mean, I always tell people if you want the best chance to see them, come earlier or later in the day. During the afternoon, they like to take some naps. So look up high. That's where pandas like to sleep, red pandas. So if you're not seeing them, that's probably where they're hanging out.
They are so cute, by the way.
Yeah.
They're just the
They are
cutest
adorable,
things in the
yeah.
world. So check it out if you can. Roars and Pours is going on this Friday at Zoo Boise. And Jeff, do you want to give away a pair?
Yeah, let's give away 2 tickets. You
Okay.
have to be 21 or over, though.
Yeah, if you are 21 or older, because this is adults only, and you want to check out Roars and Pours this Friday night at Zoo Boise, Jeff has been nice enough to give us a pair of tickets. Give us a call, 208-287-1003. We will give you a chance to go check this out and see it in person and enjoy and have a little bit of fun. And as always, Jeff, it's great to have you come in here and talk about that, man. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys so much.
Of course. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got ourselves an opportunity for you to get qualified for the X's Rockstar remodel. That is next on the X.
Let's play Guess That Grunt. Presented by Tate's Rents and 100.3. The X rocks.
All right, guys, this is down to the nitty gritty. You got 3 opportunities left to qualify for the X's Rockstar remodel presented by Tate's Rents. Your opportunity to win $7,000 from some great Treasure Valley companies to upgrade your living space using their materials and or services, and then $2,000 cold hard cash. But you got to guess that grunt if you want to get qualified, man.
Yeah, you do.
So if you want to play the game, 208-287-1003. How does Guess That Grunt work? We're going to play a song down the phone line to you. It's going to contain some noises, some screams, some things that you could associate if you tried real hard with some home improvement and home remodeling of your very own. If you can identify the band or the artist that sings that song, we don't need the song title. That's another level of difficulty that we didn't need to tap into. Then you will be qualified. And I'm going to be honest, Big J, I'm going to say our first caller today is going to get it.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say. So, a really primo opportunity for you to qualify for the X's Rockstar remodel. 208-287-1003. Are you ready, Big J?
I'm ready.
Hello, the X.
Yes.
Hey, hi, who's this?
Lisa.
All right, Lisa, going to play a song down the phone line to you. You got to give us the artist or the band. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here it comes. Lisa, for the love of God, guess that grunt.
Disturbed.
Yes, you nailed it. Well done, Lisa. That is Down with the Sickness. Hang on just 1 second. We will get you all the information you need to get yourself qualified for the X's Rockstar remodel. Nailed it on the first caller.
Damn, you had it, dude.
Well,
You knew
it's one of those songs and noises where you're like, you're going to know the monkey noise, aren't you?
It's iconic.
It really is. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got your bad impressions. They're next on the X Rocks.
So far, I'm not impressed. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, bad impressions today. A chance for you to win some tickets here. We got them for you. They are for Social Distortion. That's happening June 21st at the Revolution Concert House and Event Center. It's a Saturday, friends. Plague Vendor opening up, and we'll get you qualified for a sound check party before the show even starts. So all you got to do is figure out the clues to today's bad impression. They're yours.
All right, get on the phone if you want to play 208-287-1003. If you're just tuning in and have no idea how bad impressions work, it's like this. Big J has 3 clues. They all revolve around somebody pretty famous. If you can figure out who that famous person is that Big J is trying to impersonate, then boom, you've got yourself tickets to go check out Social Distortion coming up next Saturday at the Revolution Center. Are we tying in the Metallica thing here?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot about that. Yes. Load Remastered is coming out on Friday, everyone. So we're going to get you a digital code to that, and you'll be in the running for a very sweet package from Metallica that includes 2 LPs, 3 CDs, and a tape cassette of the remastered version of Load. My apologies.
No, your apology accepted. So if you're interested in that, now would be the time to get on the phone and play a game called Bad Impressions. Let's get ourselves a contestant. Hello, the X.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Tyson.
All right, Tyson, you're up first. Good luck.
I guess playing Anastasia Steele in 3 Shades of Grey movies made me kind of a sex symbol.
Next.
Not easy being one of the worst comic book movies ever, like Madam Web. But hey, I won a Razzie for it.
One more.
I think I've gotten past all the nepotism stuff, having actor parents like Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith.
No clue, man. Sorry.
Oh, Tyson, it's okay, man. It happens to
You
us.
should have her on your radar, sir.
Oh, hello, the X.
You do.
Well, yeah, that's because I'm a weirdo. Hey, did you hear Big J's clues, or do you need him again?
I need him again, please.
I guess playing Anastasia Steele in 3 Shades of Grey movies may be kind of a sex symbol. Not easy being in one of the worst comic book movies ever like Madam Web, but hey, I won a Razzie for it. And I think I've gotten past all the nepotism stuff, having actor parents like Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith.
Oh, that's drawing a blank. Sorry.
That's okay. Should you tell people it's a lady?
It's a lady.
It's a lady?
Yeah, it's a lady.
Hello, the X.
It's a lady.
Hey, did you hear Big J's clues?
Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, you nailed it, sir. What's your name?
Dale.
Dale, congratulations. You're going to Social Distortion. You got some Metallica Reload download code coming your way, the remastered version, and you're qualified for that big old grand prize. Hey, why is Dakota Johnson in the news?
Yeah, there's a couple things here. First and foremost, she has, the news just broke that her and Chris Martin, lead singer of Coldplay, recently broke up, so that's not good. That ties in directly to this, though. Her and Chris Evans are in a movie together that's coming out here very soon called Materialist, and Dakota Johnson plays a matchmaker, Nick, and they were on the Today Show to talk about this, and I forget who the host there is, but he asked them what their kind of deal breaker is for dating. Chris Evans said that he would say must love dogs, right?
Okay.
He's like, gotta love dogs. If you're not a dog person, what are we even doing? And Johnson followed that up by her non-negotiable, like not being an a-hole,
Nice.
but didn't edit herself.
Listen,
the whole thing.
It's 2025. Nobody has time not to swear anymore.
Oh, those are the only deal breaker there for Dakota Johnson. Does that mean Chris Martin is an a-hole? Who knows?
One could take that as a direct attack. The others could just say that Dakota Johnson feels, I don't know if you've ever watched any of her interviews, she feels like somebody that would be really difficult to talk to in an interview. I mean, it's just one of those vibes. Like if you watch any of Madam Web.
Ford.
Yes.
Like the Harrison Ford were like super sarcastic. You're not sure what's going on.
Yes. You don't know if
cranky.
if they're really angry at you or they just don't want to be there. There's all these things that factor into that.
The difference is one is super hot and the other is an old man.
Harrison Ford hot. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your bad impressions. We'll wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks. It's the latest from Ghost. It is the Morning After with Nick and Big J, and that's going to wrap it up for us on this Wednesday. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Special thank you as well to our friend Jeff Augusta for coming by, talking about Roars and Pours happening this Friday at Zoo Boise. Make sure you grab your tickets in advance. Save yourself $5. And this thing is selling fast, so if you want to go on Friday and enjoy some adult beverages after the zoo is closed, kind of like a private tour of the event, you can definitely do so. Just make sure you hit up zooboise.org in order to get those. Also had a chance to give away some Social D tickets. That's always fun when we can do that. You'll have more chances tomorrow to knock that out of the park, and then another 1-for-1 on our guest, the Grunt, today. Another chance for you to get qualified for that. The X's Rockstar Remodel coming your way tomorrow as well. That leaves you with the floor, Big J.
Nick, I think we dropped the soap, so to say, here.
Okay.
Because it was sitting right in front of us. A perfect opportunity last week when we talked about Sydney Sweeney in the bathwater for Dr. Squatch. And Gritty, the mascot for the Philadelphia Flyers, has beaten us to it. He is now selling his bathwater in front of the arena at double the cost. And so I thought that was hilarious.
Well,
Gritty
listen,
does the right.
Number one, that's just plain false advertising. Gritty is a mascot, and if he were to actually take a bath, it would ruin the mascot uniform. So anybody that believes it's actual Gritty bathwater, that's a fallacy and not true. Whereas if we were to have Big J bathwater, you know that's Big J's broth that he's been stewing in. And we're ready to go.
We should have had the morning after, like immediately presented, the morning after bar soap. And
where would we collect that? I mean, we're not taking a bath together, so where are we collecting that water from?
I don't know. Well, it's the same place they collected Sydney Sweeney's from nowhere.
Okay. Well, yeah, here's the thing, though. People will actually pay for that. I don't think anybody's going to pay for our bath water.
Listen, I mean, if we could somehow fund ourselves a producer out of this, that'd be great. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it would be something. Don't get your hopes up, though. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your Wednesday
show. GoFundMe, buy our bathwater, okay?
That's going to do it for us. Jason Drew's up next. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. It's the X Rocks.